Hi, good morning. Louise, Fletcher, abstract painter. I'm all black and white behind me. And today I thought rather than just sitting talking at the camera, I would talk while I was doing some work. So I've been working with ink and in black and white, as you can see. And there is method to my madness. I've just finished a major project that I've been working on for a couple of years, working in acrylic paint and mixed media on boards and canvases of all different sizes and shapes, and I've finished those paintings and I'm now writing a book about the process, and hopefully, fingers crossed, that book will be out in October 2021. In the meantime, I find myself at that stage that we get to as artists where we still want to create. Like, I always want to create, that never goes away, but I don't have a project, I don't have a thing I'm exploring. And when that happens, I always choose to do the thing I love. So at the moment, what I really love, I've enjoyed for a long time, is ink and collage. And I'm putting the two together, and I've been inspired, and I'll explain that to you in a second. Let me switch around and show you what I'm up to. So first of all, I want to show you where these ideas come from. I am, a bit at a loss. I don't know what to do. I love ink, so I'm deciding to play with ink. I've taken a couple of courses with Karen Stamper. Look her up. She's a fantastic collage artist, and she teaches sketchbook courses. And she teaches working in these concertina sketchbooks. And the first stages of Karen's process that she teaches is to put down ink washes and to play with ink. And I found... and then to collage, and then to start painting over. But I found, I really love this part. I like the ink black and white, which is not surprising because I've made a lot of ink paintings in the past. So, but I just sometimes forget how much I love it, and somehow I feel I should be using paint, but actually I really like ink. So I am going to be doing some ink explorations over the next few months, inspired by that course. And I went into a larger book and started by using the things Karen teaches, and then I thought, I wonder what happens if I add watercolour. And I had some watercolours left over from a long time ago, and I've started to bring it in here, and I don't love what I've done, but I do love this. So there's something in here for me. Whenever I see something that I love, I think, there's something in there. And this is what I teach all the time. Find what you love, follow what you love. I made some pattern here with dots. I don't like that. I don't mind it in other people's paintings. I don't like this pattern, don't like it. Okay, good to know. Just learn what you like. All that matters is what you like, not what other people like. Some other people will feel like you. So that's as far as I've got in that book, but it made me want to go further. And so then I've got a plan for what I'm going to do. I made these the other day. These are it's a big sheet of plain drawing paper, just average drawing paper, but it's 220 GSM, so it's fairly sturdy and it's cheap. It's not like buying watercolour paper where it feels precious. Plus, it's thin enough, it's quite thick, but I can collage it on, and that's important for what I'm going to do. And here's another one, and so I was just playing with big marks against little splatters and thin lines, and what do I like and what don't I like. And further noticing, and this was a tip from Karen's course, to photocopy the parts you like. And actually my photocopier wasn't really working. Let me get these out of the way so you can see. The ink's running out, so some bits haven't worked, but that's fine. I can cut off. Like that one hasn't really worked, but I love that black splodge, and that's really enlarged from the original. So I'm looking at the marks, and I'm taking parts and just printing them out on my home printer. I like the way the inks run here. I really like this piece. It's just all the different gradations of ink and the sizes of that compared to the sizes of the little splatters. And then I have a small version of that, and then enlarging it, even more. Printed off the side for some reason, but that's fine. This mark, and that small, and then that enlarged really big. That one came out blurry, unfortunately, and that one didn't print at all, but the stripes going across might be quite nice for collage. A couple I printed in colour from the watercolour I really like this light texture. And so noticing, I'm just trying to notice, what am I enjoying about this? What's appealing to me? Because that's the key. It's all about what we like. And so those are not wasted, because bits of these are going to go into those sketchbooks and bits are going to go onto the collages I'm about to make now. I've also got some scraps from previous ink pieces that I've already worked with. And then some handmade tissue paper, which came from Susan Hart, who's an American artist, sent me a lovely package of handmade tissue papers, and this has got like coffee grounds in it. I might use that. Sewing patterns, I buy these on eBay. I've got tons of them. They're just nice because they're tissuey and they've got these interesting marks and text and numbers on. And they're not expensive. And then also on eBay, I buy like packets of paper ephemera. Sometimes you get letters from people, sometimes you just get pages from books. But I like these just for the surprising different things, and I like text in things. So sheet music. I can tell that that one's going to be better for collage than that. That's got a kind of shiny surface to it, so I don't think that's going to be great, but this one will be all right. So just bits that I've grabbed. I'm no planning about what this is going to be at all, but what I want to do is set myself a challenge, and I'm going to show you what I do. So this is another sketchbook, one of many sketchbooks, and in here I keep just things that interest me, and I make collages and I work on compositions really, and these are usually torn up bits of other paintings that haven't worked. This I think was some tissue paper and a bit of a painting that didn't work, but so nothing gets wasted. But what I wanted to show you, these were some ink, different inks for these. I missed a page there. And all these will get used. I just leave it when it's wet. This was inspired by a conversation I had with Louise. Look him up on YouTube. He's a great artist and he collages landscape pieces together. And I had a really bad landscape painting and I could see some bits of it that weren't too bad. So I had a go playing, just doing a Louise. And I would never sell something where I've taken basically someone else's idea. This is just for me to play and learn. But I so appreciate other artists and the inspiration that they give. And I think sometimes some of us feel we can't take inspiration from other people. You can. You just can't sell it as your own. But you can. That's, you know, you go to art school, they'll get you copying the old masters and things to learn how things are done. But I've always loved ripping up drawings, and so with this ink project I decided to start taking that similar idea, and these are just scraps of failed ink pieces, and what I've done is I've stuck them in and then I've continued to work on them a little bit, and that's what I'm going to do today. This was another ink piece, here's another piece. So I kind of like the swirling movement of this. And I don't know where all this is going, that's the point. It's just going to go somewhere and I will understand it in the end. That's the point of making the work. By making the work, we understand why we're doing what we're doing. So, let's get started. I have torn up these pieces of paper. The benefit of working on pieces of paper versus working in the book is that once I've stuck things in the book, they have to dry and I can't turn to another page. However, I could start in the book and then we could move on. So let's go start here and then I can use the papers after. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to challenge myself to make a composition out of what I've already created. So I'm going to take a piece where I don't like what I came up with. If I like what I came up with, I'll just stick it in a sketchbook. Like this piece here I like, I'll just stick that in the sketchbook as it is. It's a way of reminding myself of what I like, and I'll make notes on what's successful. This piece I don't like, so we'll start with that. Now what do I like about it? I like the way the ink's bloomed here, But I'm just going to randomly take a piece. It needs to be not too big because we've got only this, but make sure when I'm tearing it that I'm tearing it in a way where I don't get that edge, although you might want that, but I don't. So I just start gently to see. I'm sure there's a technical way of understanding that, but I don't know what it is. So if I start with this, then I have to, my challenge is to make something that I like out of something that I didn't like. So let's first make it small enough to fit on the page. And so that's why it's important that I don't pick something that I really love. If I picked a piece I really love, it's going to be easy for me to just refine it and make it good. I have to pick something that's got no real merit and turn it into something. So I'm gluing down that with, this is heavy gel gloss, because this is quite heavy paper. I just find it easier to get it to stick down with that. But usually I would use PVA or gloss medium for this. But it's just it just makes the paper stick so much easier. If it was thin paper that I was using, I would use this just to make sure it wasn't going to be wrinkly. But I don't have to really worry with this because it's so thick. But that's how you flatten it out. And if there's any bits that aren't stuck down, I'll just go over them. So just using anything that'll scrape. Now that this bit's separate, I quite like it. So, but next thing I'll think is, what do I not have here? I have a big soft grey shape with a bit of dark, and I have lines, a bit of thin lines, but not that many thin lines. So can I bring some thin line into it, and can I bring some more solid dark in? Well, I've got solid dark here. So I think it's, for me in this exercise, it's important for me to tear rather than cut, because unless I get to a point where I'm being precise, because I want to challenge myself to make something out of it. So at the moment, that's just all about, there's nothing to it. What haven't I got? You know, I haven't got line. I do have some bits of paper with colour on, but I want to find some bits of thin line. Or the other thing is to add them, which I'll be showing you shortly. So here's a bit with some thin line on. So I'm just going to be brutal with it. Like, that's bringing in some darker and it's bringing in some light line, which is what I said I wanted. So not too much thought, just stick it down. This is playing, I'm not trying to make a painting. I'm just trying to learn and understand, and I want to challenge myself. So that's why it's important. Do I want to put it that way? No. That's why it's important that I don't pick too carefully the piece I want to use. Actually, I'm going to have the white line on this piece where you tear it. I don't know what that's called, where you can see the paper edge. I'm going to have it here. Sometimes I like that in some places, and sometimes it interferes with the composition, which I don't have a composition at the moment, clearly. But now, where do I want to put? I do like this big slab of dark, so I could put it up here, overlapping that. And then where things don't fit together, I'm not concerned about that because I can make it all fit. But in the process of tearing bits up, I'm choosing all the time, and it's the choosing, it's the practicing choosing. Choosing what you tear, choosing what you place. I'm not suggesting this is an exercise that would work for everyone, but I find it helpful just in kind of, you know, seeing my own preferences and also guiding myself where I'm going next with the work. Because all this is coming for a reason. I just don't know what it is yet. And it's all right, I don't need to. It'll make itself clear. Or it'll turn out to be a dead end and I'll get involved in something else and this will go. Now, what I want to do next, because I'm liking some parts of this, is start bringing this together. Just get my bits stuck down properly. I'm terrible at having dirty hands and then sticking my pieces down and making a mess. Which, even though it's not a finished piece, I'd like it not to be a mess. So I'm just stopping to have a look and see what I think of it. I've still got all my, I haven't even used any of my extra collage stuff. I'm quite happy with it as it is at the moment. I have got these photocopies if I feel that I need something. But what I'm feeling like I need at the moment is to put link these things together a little bit more. So I'm looking for things to do that. I have some ink here that's dark, so I have some like undiluted ink, so I could join those two together. I can make that mark continue onto there, so this stops hopefully looking like pieces collaged on eventually, especially when I've flattened it all down. If I want to bring, do I want to bring anything down here? Do I want to carry that across? I have this, which is a woody pencil. I also use Neo colour crayons for this, or charcoal, but they're all need fixing because they all, you know, move around. But this gives me the ability to make quite nice thick lines. And then what do I like, what don't I like? What do I feel is missing? I'd like a bit more of that blue. So I'm looking for it and not finding it at the moment. This is the story of my creative life, not being able to find what I need. Now, I don't want to do the same thing, right? I want something different with that. So I'm gonna draw that marking up there. And I'm not sure I like what I've done there. So I can always cover that up with something. And the great thing about just playing like this is, if I don't like something, I just get a bit of the white paper, I can stick it down, I've got a bit of black on that, and cover up the part I didn't like. But really, it's just working out, you know, some kind of thing that I can bear to look at. I'm going to cover that up again. And this stuff, this heavy gel gloss, it dries clear, so you can cover things up with it if you don't mind having a bit of your piece being shiny. In the end, if this was going to be an actual piece, I would cover it all with gloss medium anyway to seal it, because I like that as a finish. Lots of people don't. That's one piece. I'm not going to mess, I'm just going to do another one. So what I'm left with is a really messy desk covered in bits. I didn't use a lot of the stuff I pulled out, that's fine. I've got a lot more of these to do. What do I think about this one? I think it's very busy. I like the blue and black together, so that's something I've learned, but I think it's too busy. And so what I would do next is play with tearing off like bits of white paper and just put it there and see if that makes it better. Which bit is making it feel too busy or too heavy, or and you can, this great thing about collages, you can just go, oh actually it's that line that's a problem, cover it up. No, it's this bit here that's a problem, cover that up. No, that's too big, so get rid of it, or paint over it of course, but at the moment I'm just sticking with ink and collage, so you can keep testing out. That's what I like about it. And it's all learning and discovery. So that one. I think this one is the one I like the best. So I have to kind of think about why. It's still not as successful as I would like. It's still not like, what I would say is as successful as I would like is if it makes me say, oh, I must flatten that out and put it on my website. Somebody will want that. It's not that, but I quite like the contrast of what's going on. The big dark mark which I had to respond to, so I've responded to with a lot of lighter things, and then using line as a contrast to that, and I quite like this coffee tissue paper and that's bringing in. This one I think has got too busy, so my you know, I'm often, and I might turn them round sometimes so I can see what's going on. I think that dark and that dark are just, it's just all too much. I quite liked it when I lightened it up by adding light up there. So I could come in now and try adding some lighter areas. And I've got like this, which is my photocopy of my marks. A photocopy of a light area, which I took for this very reason. I printed that one out for this reason, because it gives you a chance, me, not you, this is my problem, not yours, gives me a chance to test things out. So I could test out like what happens if I take away that dark shape that I created there, or what happens if I take it away in the middle, what happens if I take that away. No, I quite like all that part. What happens if I put some light in here. I definitely think it benefits from getting light over here, so that could be something. And then there might be some benefit to some more light over here, but you can just keep layering, keep layering, keep layering on top. And it doesn't matter that it's one type of paper over another type. It's all going to get sealed in at the end if I ever end up with anything that I want to keep. So that's one piece on. And then, where do I want that piece? Do I want that piece or do I want a larger piece? Yeah, stick it on. Can always cover it up. With these thinner bits of paper, I'll put a coat of medium over the top before I try and work on it. Otherwise, if I put ink on that, it's just copy paper. It's just going to all disintegrate, I'm guessing. Don't like that blue on there. I liked blue on another one, but it's too much on there. So, keep going with my light paper. And I try and use all the little bits, so I don't waste stuff. I don't actually use these compositions in paintings, but you know, I don't go, oh, let me find that and then copy it, but I often find that they come in anyway, one way or another. But it's more at the moment for me about exploring what it is I'm trying to do and why. And by just drawing back over that, of course, now it looks more like part of what I'm making. But what these shapes keep coming back in, this swirl and these lines, and I'm interested in why, and then following that and developing it. I already think it's improved from doing that. But I'm just going to make loads more of these. I'm going to end up with, what I do with these larger ones eventually, if I want to keep them, is I'll just make my own sketchbook out of them, or I'll stick them into, I've got some large sketchbooks, I might stick them into large sketchbooks, but sometimes I just use masking tape to make my own book and put a cardboard cover on it, and then I've got them in the future if I want to refer back to them. No need to waste anything that we work on. We can always learn something from it. So if that looks like fun, join me June the 3rd for a free 8-day taster course for my full course that I teach every year. The taster course is free to everyone, and you are very welcome to join even if you have no intention of staying on for the full course. It's 1 week, just over a week a year, that I get to spend helping everybody to unleash their creativity and learn to play and explore without worry. And in the process of playing and exploring, you start to discover who you really are, what you really like. So I hope you come and join me. The link is below this video, and we start on June the 3rd. I know if you're watching this when I first put it out, that's a time to wait, but hopefully it'll be worth the wait. And I'll send you some little things in the meantime when you signed up. Don't forget to leave me a comment if you enjoyed this, and subscribe if you're interested in seeing more. It really helps me with YouTube, so I would love it if you do that. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.